It's another weekend, another Saturday, another time for your news and current affairs ultimate program, Politics Today, which comes live simultaneously on independent television and radio. The purpose is to ensure that we'll help sharpen the policies, laws of the government, and don't forget the fact that the people really make the government, and so the people really key to ensuring that we have a viral government, and that means anything that has to do with ensuring good governance, full participation of the people is really expected. And on today's edition, we will be looking at the aspect of the 2023 polls, looking at the competency and the zoning factor. But that won't be rolled out until we pay a visit to the topic, which has to do with the local government polls that will be conducted in Edo State come April 19, as the notice has been released by the state governor on the 24th March, where he said that from 30th March to April 6, the primaries for political parties are expected to have been concluded within that period. And of course, the election will start proper on the 19th of April. Some are saying that, well, this rapid development or rapid outcome could be an issue of criticism. Well, we've been yearning, waiting for the opportunity for the governor to announce this aspect of the local government polls conduct, as the last council chairman wrapped up on March 2021, and from that time till now, there has been much ado about how the local government polls in Edo State will be conducted. And just shortly, we had the opportunity to witness where the 7-member EDSEC were inaugurated by the governor under the headship of Justice James Oyomi retired. And looking at this, what will be coming up in this regard in ensuring that we deepen the democratic process, it's all about what we'll be discussing today alongside the 2023 polls. And discussing those vital topics with me, and starting from my immediate left, I have the immediate past chairman of ASU, Benin branch, and looking at also he is the head of department chemistry in the University of Benin, and he is Professor Julius Iyasele. Thanks for joining me, Julius.
Yeah, thank you, Philip, for having me this morning, and then I want to also thank you for hooking up to listen to us.
And next to him is a very erudite and articulate custodian of the law, a legal practitioner, by that I mean, and he is Matthias Obayuwana. Thanks for joining me, Matthias.
Thank you, Philip, for having me, and good morning, viewers and listeners at home.
I'm your host on this edition, Philip Omo-Gyupo, and don't forget, it's expected that you'll be civil in your presentation because it's all about you, and we expect that you'll be pouring your calls at us at a given time that we're gonna be announcing. And of course, we're gonna be having numbers riding on the screen, or a number actually riding on the screen for you to participate on. And basically, for our listeners on independent radio, we value ultimately, and so we're gonna be making a mention of the number as the show progresses so that you can participate. Like I did say, and I reiterate, that civil presentation matters. It's really key because you are also a presenter on the show. So you pour your calls at us at a given time. And basically looking at what we have, I've said it all, and let's look at the start, and I'll be starting with you, Professor Julius. You know what has been happening so far as regards the conduct of the local government polls, and what do you make of the development looking at the inauguration of the 7-member EDSEC, and of course the announcement of the date of the election for local government polls? Do you see it as rapid or a welcome development?
Seeing it as rapid is just it's an understatement, because that announcement came out on the 23rd of March, and these elections are supposed to hold on the 19th of April 2022. What that means is that under 1 month, the political parties and then the individuals therein must prepare for an election. That is, the public must in Edo State should go to the polls, that is prepare and be ready to cast their vote under 1 month. With this, of course, that was why I said that is an understatement if we say it's rapid. I think what I've seen here is actually despotic. Let me remind us that local government elections to bring about governance at the three-tier aspect of governance. That is to socialize and bring and democratize, principles, as it were, that is supposed to reach the people at that level, at the grass local government. And at the grass local government, of course, you know what that means. These are persons that you need to mobilize. You need to talk to them for a very long time before they come. Because what we have seen that has greeted Nigerian local government elections is a very serious voters apathy. And so for you to now hem everybody under 1 month to come for an election beats me hollow. And so that's why I say I see it as being despotic. Is it that we are trying to repeat again what has subsisted in many other states of the Federation and even Edo State, where, who are those to conduct this election? There are persons that have been put in place by, like you have seen now, the nominations of persons who are to conduct this election, the ESEC.
Yeah.
And so this is what has prompted Bagos at the National Assembly to want to centralize the conduct of elections at the federal level. That is, whether at the federal, whether at the state or local government, INEC, as it were, will be the one to conduct all the elections. But without running the risk of over-centralization, because of all this that is happening, that is what one would have wished. Because it is very, very unfair for you as a governor to put an umpire. That is, you are a judge in your own case. So there's a way it looks like, and then we know what goes on in this country.
Okay, we'll look at that as time progresses on the show. But let's have your thought on this, Barrister Obayuwana, because they say different strokes for different folks.
Very well.
Because looking at what has been happening since March 2021, there has been this outcry. When will the conduct take place? And now the governor has announced. Yes. Now some are thinking, well, the announcement, the notice given is rapid. Do you share on that thought?
Well, yes, the notice is rapid. I don't think the governor is acting out of line. Yes, he could have done so to give people adequate opportunity to prepare for the elections. There are some political underpinnings that I sense. By law, by Section 7 of the Constitution, a democratically elected local government council ought to have been, is guaranteed by the Constitution.
To be constituted.
And then, by the provision of the state Constitution, a law is supposed to be passed by the State House of Assembly to govern the conduct of election, which I believe exists. And then, the timetable for election, the period within which employment could be done and election could be done, everything would have been stated in the law. And by that law, if the government is acting according to that law, to call for notice, to say, look, now we are going to play an election, please reel out the ESEC, will send a timetable for the election, provided that the period covered by the local government law that have been passed to ensure the existence of the local government council, the government is playing by that rule. So one will not say, oh, the notice is too short, or the notice is, I understand that the reason why this is coming up so quickly, because we have been calling for the call of election. And quite honestly, the local government council will not be enjoying the benefit of democracy.
Okay, but in spite of that call, it shouldn't be seen that the notice becomes rapid.
Yes.
Because you may mention the fact that according to the law,
yes.
Now let's look at it. By law, who is to make this announcement or release of the timetable? Is it the governor or ETSEC?
It's ETSEC. It's ETSEC. So if the governor had the power to appoint people into ETSEC,
which he did,
yes, like the president also has the power to nominate persons INEC. And then they conduct the election. So to say that because he nominated people into INEC, then INEC will favor Mr. President or the president's interest, or because he nominated people into SEC, SEC will not favor the governor's interest. That argument may not likely fly because somebody must nominate whoever will occupy that office.
Shouldn't that have been left in the hands of the judiciary, for instance?
It is no. Okay. By law, unless there's going to be a law to say, okay, why the judiciary should be the one to be appointing anyone. Judiciary, our role is to interpret the law. Okay. So we are not to appoint. So executive, they are those in charge of appointing. Once you appoint, normally it goes to the legislative arm who will screen them and approve them if the law permits that. So the power to appoint rests with the executive. So when they appoint, it is for us Nigerians to now look at the personality of those persons in SEC to be sure that they're going to deliver justice. They're not going to allow impartiality in the course of the election. So now SEC will now come up with their timetable. To say, okay, between this time, primary should be conducted. Between this time and this time, elections should be conducted. So if SEC comes out with their timetable, and it's in accordance with the time frame given by law for the conduct of the election, we cannot cry that, it's coming in too soon. Yes, it's taking many people by surprise because we have been knocking on the door. Allow us have the democratically elected local government council. It didn't happen. It happened shortly after the intrigue of power play in the PDP. Who will be in charge of leadership? The PDP complained, Mr. Governor complained that since he came into the PDP, they have not received his people that came with him from APC. And now this power play there, the intrigue. That's why you see the Deputy Governor's comment saying that they will not be brought in. They may be forced to go to another political party at the end of it. And Wike replying that, oh, you are threatening us, you cannot threaten us. And the governor replying Wike and all of that. And now in the light of all of this, the Supreme Court gave a decision not so long ago that those who have been appointed into the executive committee of the PDP must finish their tenure. The issue of harmonization will not come in. So, and then it is those that are in charge of the various wards, leadership, that takes control when it talks about nomination for whatever office they want to go for, whether Senate, whether presidency, whatever it is. They are those that will take the charge. So for me, I consider that to be where, since the Supreme Court has knocked us out from this angle, let us see what we can gather if we can have our loyalists in the various local government as councillors and as chairmen. They may also sway our support one way or the other. So that's why I say there's an intrigue. So because it's coming sooner after that decision from the Supreme Court to say, look, allow those who are in charge to take charge. Your call for harmonization cannot happen. The people have come in, let them stay the way they are. Those who have been elected before you came in, they will continue their tenure until 2024, whatever it is. And then the arm would have been done election 2023. So as far as I'm concerned, okay, fine, since I cannot longer get it from this end, let us see how much effort we can put in. If we can have our loyalists in the council, as chairman, as councillors, perhaps we may be able to, also have an edge. So that is where the fear comes in. That my colleague, Professor Yasiri, has said that where you are putting somebody into SEC, they may give you 18/18, as they have always had. Then let us wait. Let us look at the integrity of those persons in SEC, whether there will be those that will be biased and give us 18/18. Of course, if the PDP gets 18/18, well and good.
Well, of course, it's under the headship of Justice James Oyamire, retired.
Yes, if the election is,
that neutrality will not be in doubt.
It shouldn't be in doubt because coming from somebody from the judiciary, because they have looked at the integrity of person before they say, okay, you head this office. So we should look up to that SEC and ensure that they will do justice, and then those that really win the election will come in. Of course, there are going to be primaries before that election. So whoever emerges as the candidate for councillor, for chairmanship in a political party, they will now come to the mayor election, local government election, and then SEC, the voters, I should expect the votes to count, and SEC should give us exactly what we have.
Thank you very much for that. What are your fears, Professor Julius? Because we look at the headship of the Justice James Oyamire, retired, which some see as a very development, a very big, huge development, that will bring about some elements of neutrality. And then we look at the need for political parties to have been ready, since March last year, the chairman's tenure ended. It's expected that the political parties should have been ready to be called at any time So what are your fears after assessing all of this?
I want to thank God that somebody from the judiciary is heading this process this time. Well, their understanding is that when it comes to justice and all that, that is the arm of government. You look at people who at least have major players, like
that gives you some credibility.
Yes, that is very
fantastic.
good. But that is an office. You know, when we look at what has happened in this country, you know, my fear cuts across that even it is not your status or even definitions of where you had worked or something that determines the outcome eventually. But however, you have just said whether political party, whether local governments will be ready or that. I hope you know that it's very, very unconstitutional to have caretakers. And so
they don't have caretakers.
No, if by last year and thereabout, because if you have spent out your tenure in office and then you are still in office, as it were, it's either you are called either you are now a consultant or a contractor or a caretaker. Do you understand? And then this has gone on for a very long time. I just want to hope it is not because somebody has woken up somewhere in government and said, okay, this power that we are actually be wanting to control, we can have this control through this process. By the time we put our people in offices and all that, then, because I was also here, we're also here in this state where we notice the appointments of myriads or legions of SSA, SA, and all that. All this in trying to control the, you know, the element of power and all that. I just hope that that is not what is, that the people are being actually taken into consideration, that the tenets of democracy, the benefits of democracy is actually what is in play. Otherwise, it's so, see, when we look at SEC, we look at SEC, which is state, yes, when we look at them and look at the various governors, we know what has played out in this country. Let me tell you, on the 21st of, on 24th of April or thereabout of 2021, Lagos State election, local government election, held the same day with that of Ogun State. Whereas the local government chairman and councillors that are going to be put in place in Lagos are going to have a tenure of 4 years. Those in Ogun State were going to have 3 years. And so the governors have come to dictate what happens to that third arm of government in this country. And that is why have people not been crying that there should be what do I mean now? A kind of autonomy for all the for the local government. Yes. Otherwise, the governors have been who plays the piper detains the tune. This SCF we are talking about now, who is going to fund them? And then the money is not going to come from the government.
Okay. I think all of this you are saying is based on your observations in the past.
The things that we have been saying.
And then the 18 over 18 that Bariwan has brought in.
Is that not what I've laid out?
Okay,
is that not what I've laid out?
We have to political dispensation.
I'm coming now. No,
under the governor.
There's no new political dispensation.
Now, don't you think, like he said, that he has benefited, from the free and fair process, and being that as it is, he will want others to also benefit. Don't you think? Don't you think he is using this as an opportunity to, write his name in gold?
He has an opportunity
in order to bring about, a viral democratic process.
He has an opportunity, and that has been my expectation for somebody who came from the private arm into government, somebody who have succeeded in business. And that has been my expectation when I see someone, because look at it. How can you now say he benefited from democratic process and thereabout? What is it easy for political parties to become so amorphous that you can? Political parties, as it were, are supposed to be based on ideology. Ideology are like, if you wake up, if you separate a man and a woman by God's ideological principles, that when you see a man, this is the way he behaves, or the looks are like this. a woman, and this is the way the woman looks like. That is what I can use to describe an ideology. So for you to be able to change from overnight from APC to PDP means that the ideology is not held very seriously.
Okay, no, but talk about the circumstances that gave rise to that development. I think everyone is aware of the circumstances.
In fact, what happened then was
you wouldn't wish that away.
What happened then is that if he agrees, not benefiting, that he committed class suicide. If he agreed then, I will hear that from him. That because of the circumstances that succeeded then, I committed class suicide. Then I will say, okay, fine. We agree with you also. But having committed class suicide, the expectation now is that are you a regenerate? Have you now developed the tenets of PDP or thereabout, or the ideology of PDP? But so I don't want to.
Basically this.
When I don't basically the same.
Yes.
What that means is that we don't have political parties.
Okay,
that is why we are asking for independent candidacy and all that. Because my learned man here says they are ideologically the same.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what
I'll come back to you. I think I will give him room to really settle that aspect where he said they are the same, actually, looking at that perspective. But again, while you do that, let's also look at the aspect where you raised, according to the laws, that is the ETSIEC, that rolls out this timetable.
Yes.
But from the way we are seeing it now, it seems to be the otherwise. And what do you make of that?
Well,
because is there a breach?
There's no breach. You see, the laws are made for men and not men for the laws. Odi and Osafile, that decision was given by Baseke GSC of the same memory. Now, if laws are made for men and the law says elections should be conducted within so period of time, there should be a window of time for which it could be done, and the announcement given to you appear to be too short. We should expect the political parties to be complaining.
Okay.
I have not heard of anyone complaining that we are not ready. We don't have a candidate. We never had a mindset of having election conducted. Okay, we are okay with having members of the civil servant individuals local government council.
Okay, but maybe they will ventilate their opinion in that respect.
Exactly.
Because
so
March 28 has been fixed to really harmonize or to look at that.
So now nobody has complained.
So members may be warming up to do that.
If they are already having issues with gathering their people, do the primaries, and having their candidates ready, and they complain, I believe SCF will listen to them. Okay. And say, okay, well, let us extend the time a little. Where you complain. If they have not complained, the timetable will be written. It's like a student in the examination. Okay, the lecturers are on strike now, right? By the time you come back, you know, okay, you are going to write the exam within the next 2 weeks. And then you are expected to be reading your books all this while you are on strike. We didn't expect to go home and go to sleep. And
we've had circumstances like that.
And students cannot come and say, no, sir. You put us on strike. We don't know when you are calling us back. Some of us going to other menial job to survive. We're not fully reading our books. You can just call us back now and say within 2 weeks we should go that exam.
And then later dates are changed.
Exactly. Please extend the date on another date, and they will do it. So that is the same situation now. All the while you are not be seeing a call for local government election. Other persons who are not elected members of the local government council will be running the local government council contrary to law. And all of a sudden now they now call for election. And the time is too short for you. You can ask for an extension. So we should not be seen to be criminal and be bereaved. I'm not saying the political party clamoring for extension. So which means they are okay with the time is scheduled given.
Well, you can't tell this platform may be an opportunity to generate this clamor.
If they clamor for it, I believe SCF will listen to them and say, well, as it is now, let us extend the time. We should, like the bus cart, be ready at all times. So especially to be ready at all times. So now they have called upon you. Yesterday I saw on TV where some members of the public were already picking their forms, PDP forms for assembly elections.
Okay.
So we should expect things like that too. Somebody that pick a form for local government council, pick a form for chairmanship, for councillor, whatever it is. So we should be seeing that, and then there should also be more of publicity. I have not actually heard more of this publicity. I'm sure because they just announced it.
They just announced it. Yes.
We should expect SCF to come
to hit the ground running
and be announcing it so that they will not voters apathy. People should be aware that election is coming up for local government council prior to the general election 2023. So they should be doing more of that so that public awareness, so that many people who are not aware will begin to be aware. Those who want to contest can go and pick their forms. Okay. And if the political party are having challenges, they cannot call for extension of time. Okay. But until then, the time given by SEC, had to be followed. When they came for the governor's month to see where, with this so and so time, which we expect to have elections conducted. But the actual person who should be in charge is SEC. They are the one to say, this is the time given for elections and all of that. The timetable to be given actually should come from SEC and not from the governor. Okay. So if the governor just hinted to say where elections should be done so time, SEC should be the one to bring the timetable. It's the SEC timetable that we are going to follow, and not the governor's timetable.
Okay, let's look at this development as we call it.
Wait first. Is it for the comatose Nigerian public that can come up and criticize what our government has done? The students could, because they are organized. Do you understand? Is he the hungry man or woman? The state in which Nigerian politicians have beaten Nigerians to, is it from there, from the gravely position that we are in, that somebody will not come up and say, I'm criticizing what the government has said?
But we are doing it already.
It is what we are seeing here. It is a winner take all. That is what we are seeing in the Nigerian.
Optimistic.
Yes, optimism is what has brought us to where we are here.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
Yes.
He said a winner take all. I was to ask you that. The 18/18 under a democratic process, is it impossible as an outcome?
It's not impossible, because it's the matter of change. People were tired. Then, during the governorship election for Governor Obaseki, Edo people were not having godfathers, not having one person determining the fate, on the direction of election or governance in our state. So we didn't want that, and we felt the way he was removed, they say they disqualified somebody qualified who contested, you vote, you campaign for him. All of a sudden, you are disqualifying him. He's no longer qualified to contest. All of that
raised sympathy and support.
Exactly. I said we wanted him, and everybody said wherever he goes to, we will vote for him. And then we went to PDP, and PDP received him, and we voted for him. So the state can be.
Okay. So such can play out.
Exactly.
Even at the local government level.
If we say we like him, the way I moved to PDP now, maybe PDP did not receive him very well. Whoever the governor supports for local government election. Okay, but don't forget that between that time and now, a lot of others has passed under the bridge. Exactly. Because some who voted are already having different opinions. The possibility is there. In that respect. So the possibility is there. So anyone to be carried, whether by sympathy, whether by love or altruistic reason, whatever it is, the better strike that is carried on, in the state, in making rules and all of that, and he comes to campaign and put his weight against behind any candidate. I don't know if people can say, well, for these reasons, we want to vote for your candidate because we want you to replicate, we want the council to replicate what you are doing at the state level.
Thank you. Wonder what has happened all along from that time till now, of election till now. Do you see the possibility of having 18/18?
Why not?
Oh.
Why not?
No. I mean, we genuinely under a democratic process.
Let's go back to research.
Okay.
Or go back to database. What the information from the database that the only difference had happened in Kaduna State. That was when El Rufai himself attempted to apply electronic voting.
Okay.
And he even lost in his own ward. Do you understand? That was when, PDP was able to defeat him in, PDP-dominated areas.
Okay.
But in all the other states where local government election has held, it has been one, yes, the party is in place.
And you are saying, are you saying that by that would be out of majority vote? Are you saying that is not as a result of majority vote?
It is not. Listen, listen to me. In this state, an election was still on in Uromi. And results were already announced in Binihia.
It used to be the case. Yeah, that used to be the case. It used to be the case. But with the electoral act in place,
the fact that give rise to that change.
Okay.
Yes. I think you are being presumptive based on historical.
I think you can take my words to the bank.
Past experience.
I say take my words to the bank or put a bet on it and see.
We don't want to put a bet on it because
we want a change. We want a change. That's what we want.
It will be gladdening if we are going to get a change. It will be very, very happy.
We will get it.
But what I'm seeing here,
are you optimistic about getting that change? Because it's not for you to just say we will be very, very happy. Exactly. If you put that statement you just made on the crucible, it's with mixed feelings.
When it comes to democracy,
okay,
it's a government by the people, of the people, by the people, and
for the people, as simply put.
So what that means is that before decisions like this are made on the calendar for this process, you are supposed to invite the stakeholders. You are supposed to consult very, very widely so that we know whether this time is even most appropriate for it.
Okay.
And then how all lengths. That could have been done. But if that was not done, you see, in my village, the firewood that will get to the farm, it is when you take it up at home that you will know. If you don't study very well, at the end of the day, you will not have food in the farm.
That's proverbial.
Yes. So from here, we can see the color of the chicken from the egg.
Okay. Well, if things changes, I think I'm going to have you on this platform again. So you can maybe swallow your words. In case you're just joining us as politics today, we've been having a robust discussion on the local government polls in Edo State that has been slated for April 19, and of course from March 30th to April 6th, it's expected that the conduct of party primaries would have been successfully done. But well, as the guests have said on this platform, there could be possibilities that there will be changes to the timetable. Basically, if the political parties are really agitating over the short notice given. Well, while we allow that matter to settle, we also have a thread of conversation on the aspect of the competency and the zoning factor ahead of the 2023 polls. And discussing this with me is still a very, very articulate guests, talking about Barrister Obayuwana Matthias, who is still with me. Thank you for your continuous stay. And of course, to the immediate past chairman of ASU Union Branch, talking about Professor Julius Iyasele. Thank you for staying with me.
Yeah, let them stay glued.
So, at this point, anywhere from now, we will be expecting you pour your calls at us. We're going to be giving you a number that will be riding on the screen. And I did say, and I would not go back to my word, that I'm going to verbalize that number to our listeners on independent radio so that they can also participate in pouring their calls at us. At this point where I'm starting again with you, Professor Julius Iyasele, at this point where we look at this whole aspect of the competency, of who's going to be the next president, what part or region is it going to come from? Now, do you share in the thoughts that there should be a power shift as per the presidency, or what are your thoughts concerning happenings in the state in this direction?
Over on my heels, I share in that thought. You can get good persons from any part of this country, because it's this same country that in the 70s brought in what they call even the quota system, even with admissions into the universities or anywhere. They have independent character commission. The essence of that commission is to, when you are getting employment, people from different areas must be represented in an area. Why is it that when we now come to governance, you are now saying that you will not shift, especially when you find that it's your people, the most powerful person that are in politics. Otherwise, if you need to cure marginalization in any way, you must allow power shift. There should be zoning. It's very, very important.
Really?
Because as it were now, if you look at it, only one particular ethnic class is holding this country by the jugular. And so, why won't there be shift? Are we going to continue like this? Of course, it becomes very threatening, and even to life, if we continue in this state.
Okay.
And so, I advocate seriously for power shift. Look at those states. It was known in the past that when you have 3 senatorial districts, after the first senatorial district, you move to the second, from the second to the third, however you choose it to be. But that, and then we were doing well, and then the energy level was very low here. So if we change that, of course, you have called for the issue of marginalization, and then you are calling also for anarchy. That is what it is.
Okay, I think you are saying this again based on the fact that there seems to be a loss of genuine patriotic tendencies, you know, in leadership.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there seems to, I didn't say there is. But ordinarily speaking, yes. Don't you think it would have been more thoughtful and viable and pragmatic to say that leaders should first think as Nigerians before they think as ethnic members, you know? So based on that, it wouldn't matter where the president comes from as long as there is a due process that is called democratic electoral process, yeah, at which the president emerges from. Yeah. Is open. After all, what do you think about that?
You're absolutely correct. Do you understand that we are supposed to think first as Nigerians before thinking of wherever you come from? But you know what subsists here. You know what holds here. So that is not the way. We have people from different areas of this country, because it has been said that we are just an assemblage. We are an assemblage of a people. Do you understand? And so the way it is not as if, you know, we are a nation, as it were. What we are here is that we are just we are a country. And so the importance of this is that everybody should be represented. People have talked of national cake. Won't other parts of the country also have their hand on the pie? Oh. That is what we are saying here. So it's good to think but you can get very many good persons from different parts of this country. So the way it is, I'm interested, and I will ask, and I will believe in the zonal system. Okay, because the country created it. You brought quota system. Okay. You brought independent character commission and
okay. Other. I believe the number you are to call, because I'm yet to see it on the screen, but the number is 052-290-573. All right. So for those callers on independent radio, you can start pouring your calls at us, 052-290-573. Well, let's get your thoughts, Obayuwana, because I know the Constitution is silent about this, or isn't it?
It's not silent. The provision is there in Chapter 14, Chapter 2, Section 14, Section 3 and 4 of the Constitution, which is the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy, you know, which provides that the composition of the government, you know, of the various, of the state, and not the federation.
Okay, I think I'll have to pause you there. Let's quickly take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. Thanks for calling us. What's your name, please?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much. This is Sonny.
Okay, Sonny from Airport Road. Where are you calling from? From Airport Road or Stadium Road?
Yeah, this is Sonny from Airport Road.
Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask, first of all, from Barrister Matthias, I think Obayuwana, right?
Go ahead, yeah.
I don't know the Constitution. What did it say about the time and the duration to conduct an election? And you didn't specifically address that issue as a lawyer. Because if you look at it, once the tenure of this administration, before it comes to an end, yes, INEC is already thinking about the next election, the conduct, the primaries, and the general election. Now, if you look at it, the government just came out and announced that he considered the team that will take over the SCA. Within 1 month, did the commission allow an election, that you can hold an election for a local government within 1 month? And you felt that we have to wait for people to complain to see whether it was too short or not too short. With all manner of shenanigans you have from the various political parties, APC is having issue now with how to hold convention or no hold convention. PDP is having issue with whether they want to stay with they want to accept the government and team or not. That's one. Number two, if it is against constitution, and you look at the area of morality, I think that the governor of Edo State is progressing in error. If that is correct, that
okay, thank you. I think you've articulated the point enough.
Hello?
I think you've articulated the point enough so that we can have room for others. Thank you for your contribution. Okay, well, I think you have the floor, but you have to change the course of discussion because he's taking you back to the previous topic. So can you please answer?
To quickly respond to that. Yes, he has rightly noted that it was wrong of the present government not to have organized this election prior to the, to the running out of the tenure of the Lower Med Council, which the law does not allow. Before now, they used to set up critical committees, and the Supreme Court says critical committees, they are not known to law. So now what they simply did was to now allow the Civil Servant Individuals Council to take over administration of the Local Government Council, in which case it was in violation, that by itself was in violation of the Constitution. So the state government have acted all the while in violation of the Constitution by ensuring that, by not ensuring that there was a democratically elected Local Government Council after the tenure of the one democratically elected went down. There ought to have been another one so that there will be a seamless flow.
Doesn't these violations come with consequences?
Well, the consequence there is for any civil society organization or for anyone interested, who has interest in contesting, to have taken the government to court to say, look, you are empowered by law, you are mandated by law to conduct elections. Now the tenure of for the first set that they are over, the second set ought to have started immediately. Now you didn't do anything, you didn't compose the essay, you didn't bring out any timetable, everything, everybody just be at the same place. So we all kept quiet and nobody spoke. Nobody complained. Nobody went to court to challenge his actions. To say, look, even if you are not putting local caretakers in the council, those running it now,
okay, thank you.
To the Constitution.
Thank you.
But now that he has acted, to say, because he's acting now, then it shouldn't be at all. It's better late than never.
Okay.
And we are saying that people can call for extension of time.
Thank you. I just brought you in on that based on the question.
Let me ask.
It's not for you to react to it because
I want to ask us a question.
I give you 15 seconds for that.
If in government places, if you are employed and you want to resign, or your tenure is running out, what do you do? In 1 month or 3, you will give that system, organization, notice.
Yes.
Why is it that you have people running government with you and you know their tenure is running out and you didn't do anything? And if you ask this government tomorrow whether they succeeded or not, they will say, yes, we did very well. This is crass failure of government.
Thank you. You made a point. Back to you because you had the floor.
Yes.
So looking at if the Constitution is silent or not. You said it's not silent.
It's not silent. Now, I will just quickly read to you what this Constitution says. Fundamental objective and the principle of state policy, section 14, section 3 says the composition of the government or the federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such a manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote national unity and also to command national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or sectional groups in that government or in any of its agencies. The same provision is for the state. That's why the state must also ensure that you take representative from all over the spread. And then we are seeing the zoning for governorship in those states. Okay, the issues will take, those will take maybe they are 2 terms in office, then go to the circles, they go to the issues. That's what I've been rotating. The same way, we should expect the federal government to do the same thing. Because when it comes to having power shift from the north to the south, the argument would be, put round pegs in round holes. As if there are no square pegs, there are no round pegs in the south. It's only fine in the north.
I understand that.
So I like to shift so that there can be national unity, there can be national loyalty, and then no one group of the country will predominate the other.
Thank you. I understand that there are technicalities, in the judicial arm that are being used, in the law court, that will bring about all of this. Issues maybe of judgment overwhelming some of us who are not custodians of the law.
Yes.
Now, you just quoted that provisions. does it categorically concern that of power shift or talking about political appointments?
See, the position, this position talks about political appointment, composition of government,
and not power shift.
So
it doesn't hold.
See, no, it does. It can be stretched. What do we have? When you compose a government, it starts from the head, and then the head now brings people into play. And we are saying that the head, and if you look at the composition of the government of the federation, has not been one-sided. Look at the composition of the key position in government. It has only been one-sided because for the head, it came from the north, and the man has ensured that everybody from his own area have been put in government. We have been complaining from the south. And people are saying, look, put square pegs in square holes. These are good people. As far as they are good, they can be there. They are also good people in the south. What I'm simply saying
so that is not discretionary.
No,
as per the office of the president,
ordinarily, what
to
we have,
bring his kinsmen on board.
The federal character
is discretionary.
The federal character must be followed.
What of federal character comes
followed. Now, what we have here in the Constitution, which they call the fundamental objectives and the principle of state policy, it is not a law per se, like as it's stated, it's the directed principle of state policy. This is how it should go. This is how it should be.
Okay.
So no one can go to court to say, if you didn't do it this way,
thank you.
Heavens will fall.
Thank you. Let's take another call. Thank you very much, Barrister Baiwana. Yeah. Hello, good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from quickly.
Good morning. My name is Brother Mike, and I'm calling from Uselu Houses.
Mike from Uselu Houses. Go ahead with your candid contributions, please.
You see, sometimes it pains me a lot. Sometimes when I'm listening to some discussion pertaining in this presidential that is about this election of presidential election that's about to happen in 2023. That some people now will be saying that no, that there is nothing like a zoning in constitution. It pains me a lot. Before now, the Northerners, they were saying that that is their time to rule. You remember when President General Dua from Blessed Memory died, that even the Northerners, that their tenure has not completed. What does that mean by that? Now it's time for the Southern to rule that state. The country is too fragile for the Northerners to put bigger problem. Let them allow the Southern to rule in their turn. Let them zone it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike from Uselu.
I have an opinion to add to that.
All right.
Atiku, a presidential faithful, visited Oton in Benue State. And Oton reminded him how he has been quiet since the killings in Benue. And Atiku just apologized and donated about 50 million naira, to all the IDPs in Benue. And Atiku impositing because the Fulanis were fingered. Atiku didn't say anything different. He said, well, that for Fulanis, that Fulanis are brothers all over Africa, that they are all together, they are, but that he will. But he has said one vital point, first of all, that he is a Fulani, and so the Fulanis are their brothers, they are together. The only thing he was going to be able to do maybe to moderate, and but that is left to bookmakers. But what we are saying this time, that what we have seen is that people from this ethnic extraction, they are holding this country by
no, you can't say that.
What are we saying? I'm telling you.
Yes.
We have seen decisions now.
I think you made a point.
We have seen decisions are decisions, and people who have said here now, anybody who will make government policies in this country comes from a particular ethnic extraction. Is that not what I'm saying? Even the president said a section of this country didn't vote for him. Okay. And so they were not going to have representation.
Okay. Before I join Barrister Baiwana again, let's take this call. I think this call is vital. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from quickly.
Yes, I am Dr. Opon Secret, PhD.
Opon Secret. Go ahead with your contribution, please. Go ahead.
Yes, quickly on the Edo State election, local government election, I want to use this medium to let the governor know that he is not treating us fairly in the Edo State. The kind of love and the amount of love we showed to him in the Edo State when it was a tug of war for him in the other party, and we all supported him to come the second tenure. He's not doing very well because he is supposed to, under normal circumstances, there is a sinister move in the way he inaugurated his SCX and then gave them a timeline. For example, one of your guests here have already alluded to that because the Supreme Court has said that they have no right to come and do harmonization activity, they want to quickly grab the local government council so that they can gamble with that in the forthcoming election. I want the governor to instruct them to extend that election by 3 months.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Opusinkri. You made your point, but please be civil in your presentation. Don't see this as an opportunity of gambling, please. Please be civil. I want to believe that you are taking back that word you just made mention of.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we're done. Now, for time's sake, let's look at your contributions in this concerning what has been said so far in respect of the power shift.
No, the power shift, because we cannot continue to, engage ourselves in a system where the appointments of government, where the headship of government is always lopsided.
Okay.
It has been lopsided.
Okay,
so they must allow other regions. So the argument can always be that when it is for the interest of the North, they will talk about the power shift arrangement.
Okay.
When it is SAC, when it is the time for the SAC to enjoy, they will not be telling you that it's not there codified by law. It's only by practice.
Why I asked you that question? Another question just popped up crazily in my head.
Go ahead quickly.
And this is the question.
Yes.
The whole issue about fighting against insecurity and bringing about economic prosperity. Does this power shift or zoning, will it cure it?
It will cure it. Now you can see the body language of Mr. President over time. Even when he said, shoot aside. If you see anybody carrying AK-47 and whatever, shoot aside. We have seen interviews being done by those so-called herdsmen or whoever the representative is, where they will sling their AK-47 rifle across their shoulders, standing with a state governor and on national television and be talking. You say shoot aside, and then shot the man aside. Okay. How many people have you seen? So the body language is clear. Don't shoot aside. They know there are some sacred cows. Touch not my anointed and do them no harm. They know. So if you are a truly destabilized Nigeria and issues like this are going on, why can you not come after those persons and feed them out?
Thank you. Let's take our last call for today. Hello, good morning. Caller, tell us your name and where you're calling from quickly.
Abraham. I'm opposite the office here.
Abraham.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
I want to talk to you for that lawyer. I put the lawyer to phone. I read something from the senior lawyer during the week concerning this, governor's decision. That is supposed to be medicine. It's supposed to prepare. I wanted the lawyer to tell the good people. Is it too much to conduct the election? Thank you.
Abraham, thank you so much. This is a burning issue. You are still taking us back. Yes,
they should allow
about 90
parties to complain.
I talked about energy.
Yes.
Once you don't do the right thing,
let's look at the
energy of the system will go. It will boil over.
Yes,
I don't know. And Abraham isn't a custodian, isn't a lawyer.
If the time limit is 90 days, you understand? Notice says that you cannot conduct election within that time space. You don't go beyond it. It can be 2 days, it can be 3 days within.
Okay.
So I'm saying that if they have talked about 1 month, it is for those who are the stakeholder to say, look, SEC, call us for a meeting, or SEC, this 1 month is too short, extend it.
Thank you.
And the councils extend it.
Thank you. I think that's your last contribution on this.
It's narrowing the people who are involved to only the political parties, as if they are not going to be voters.
Voters? No, I say stakeholders. If you are a voter, and you are saying now, you using this medium to call on SEC to extend the time.
Stakeholders, yes.
You say so now.
Yes.
SEC, the time for 1 month is too short. Yeah. Please make it 2 months. Somebody said 2 months just now. Yeah. Make it 2 months. Oh no, I want the full 3 months. You call for it, and they will extend it for you.
Okay.
You know, my last comment is that power must shift to the south for the next 2023 election. The second one is to advise Edo State government that they are getting themselves too enmeshed and into controversy. Okay. It's not good to be too controversial. You are leading the people.
Thank you very much.
If he had not called for a didn't call for election, we say it's completely undemocratic. Now he has called for election.
No, this is despotic.
He has called for election. If the time is short, I agree with everybody that the time is short.
So what is
call upon SCA to extend time. We don't have to
call right. He said there can be extension.
Exactly.
I think that's what I've learned from this discussion. Big thanks, Barrister Bayiwana. Big thanks, immediate past chairman ASU, Professor Julius Iyasile. Big thanks to our callers, those who we couldn't pick their calls. We really sincerely apologize. And big thanks to Mike from Uselu, of course, Open Secret, and of course, Abraham, and what again, Sonny from Airport Road. All right. Big thanks, Nigerians. Well, we do this again, same time next week, but don't forget that the opinions shared on this platform are the opinions of the makers and not that of independent television and radio. On behalf of the entire production team that made this edition a success, I'm Philip Amo Gupo. Goodbye.